So I'm actually just draining my duck hole. I want to go ahead and drain it down. We've been doing a little bit of moist soil management. I've been letting it drain slowly to promote some of those native wetland plants that normally grow in this area. But also I do plant some of this, so I want to go ahead and knock off the last foot of water that's on it. Go ahead and take it out. That way in a couple weeks I can get the tractor in here, do some tilling, and plant some more food for the ducks, while also keeping at least half the hole of like native plants. It's also a lot of food for, you know, the ducks and other native birds and such. Alrighty, this is the pipe we're gonna use to drain it. Basically, I just have to turn it. It's on an elbow, so I can just turn it over and it'll drain out this entire pond. But first, I gotta put on my waders. Let me slap them on. I'm gonna get in the water. It's time to drain the duck hole. Just push this over. Get in the water. There it goes. Get in there. Alright, sick. Yeah, you hear it come out the other side. Here, you can see all the water blowing out and coming out of the hole. And tomorrow I'm gonna bring you back and we're gonna take a walk through the duck hole and see what's in it. And see what happens when you drain a pond. Down here is where the beaver was getting in here, and it was using all this stuff to clog up our pipe and keep water in here, but it's all drained out now. There's the tractor over there back behind. The tractor is the blind. So we're planting our duck hole today. I'll show you what we got going, but Dad's over there on the tractor. I'm still a disgrace to him, but we wanted to plant a little bit sooner, but the beaver clogged up our pipe, clogged our hole, you might say, and reflooded the holes. But we got it drained out, got it dried. He's tilling it. We got some corn, we got some sorghum, sunflower seeds, and brown top millet ready to go. So hopefully we'll be able to get this planted today. I'll pop up some drone footage right about now. This is kind of like what the hole looked like beforehand, before we started tilling. It had a little bit of stuff growing in it, but not too bad. What we got there, Jeff? We got our brown top millet.
We got brown top. What we got here?
Sorghum.
Sorghum, sunflowers, and some corn right there.
I don't know if you can see, but we got pretty good coverage going along there. And then once we get it all done, Dad's gonna come back around with a tractor and lightly till it up and get it covered up so all the birds don't eat it, and we'll get it going. Hopefully we'll be done here soon. And then we're gonna go to the other side. He's tilling it up now. Gonna get it done and get it planted. All right, so it's been a week. I'm back out here at the duck hole. We got some really good rain, got a lot of good sunshine. So everything's starting to come in pretty good. So let me show you around. Hope you can see, but everything's starting to come in pretty good. Got some really good coverage on this side. The other side, well, we don't need to talk about it. It was hand thrown. It's not nearly quite as good, but over here, I may or may not have spilt some sunflower seeds, and maybe spilt more than I thought I did, because look at all these puppies coming in. Look at all of them. You can kind of see the seeds starting to come up. But a lot of people, specifically on TikTok, had been asking me if this is illegal and how this goes. So a lot of places do this all around the country, and by U.S. Fish and Wildlife and like the migratory laws and whatnot, this isn't technically illegal. It's not really baiting, even though we are planting things to bring in ducks. Just want to explain that a little bit, because I don't think many people do. They just kind of do things, they don't explain it. So there's a thin line you don't want to cross. So you can come out here and you have to do it under, they call it natural agricultural process. So you can come out here and plant your stuff, get it going, and bring it to spring, and then you can flood it. You're fine. That's perfectly fine to do. But where you have issues is like people come out and they'll plant their stuff and they'll plant a bunch of corn, and instead of, you can harvest the corn to like make you whole, but a lot of people that are considered the baiters, that will come out here and they'll plant all their corn and then they'll bush hog it over, and that's just, you can't do that. Or they'll plant whatever crop and they'll bush hog it, or they'll push it over the four-wheeler, whatever, and that's illegal, and you can't really do that, because that's bad. But that's kind of where the line is and whatnot. But you also got to think about when you're planting these things, and what you want to do for your hole is like your height of your crop. So you don't want to plant a bunch of crop that's way above your water level. It's going to be too thick. The ducks don't really want to land in that. They don't really like it. So that's why we picked millet and some shorter plants for the most part that are going in here, because our water level will come up to maybe, you know, mid-thigh, and your millet and sorghum, it'll stop before that. You know, some of the sorghum will be a little bit taller, some of the sunflowers will be taller, but sunflowers probably won't make it to duck season. They'll be eaten out. And a little bit of corn we got in here, we put around the edges because we want the ducks to kind of move to the center of the hole. But it looks pretty good. And there are some other things people do that you don't have to plant, like a moist soil management property. They'll kind of come in here and they'll flood it up, and then they'll drain it in stages and get some of those moist soil plants coming in. And we, you know, this pond's got about, it's probably 2 acres, and maybe 3/4 of an acre is actually planted whole, and the other 1.25 acres is moist soil management, I guess you'd say, because it has a lot of hazel alder, has a lot of lizard tail, has a lot of those other moist soil plants. Here's some lizard tail right here. Maybe. So whenever these lizard tail get going, ducks absolutely love them. There's some hazel alder up in there. And oh, this is button bush. I don't know if you can see that. That'll actually, when it gets going in the winter, whenever it comes wintertime, it'll pop a bunch of seeds out, and ducks absolutely love them. So there's a lot of things you can do. I'd suggest, like, you're trying to increase your duck use days, maybe having like a diversity of food sources, some native foods and some planted, you know. Give them a good smorgasbord of stuff. But if you like these videos, a lot of duck hunting videos coming up. Management are going to be working on the Sky Lounge soon. You'll see what that is. One of the biggest shooting house 12 by 24 building. So don't forget to like and subscribe.